Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm very excited for today's video because we have a new palette from Nomad Cosmetics. The new location is Costa Rica, and this is not only one of the prettiest palettes they've ever done, but probably the prettiest packaging they've ever done. The outer box is so pretty and has cutouts to the inner. There's a little sloth here. I love this. I'm gonna do swatches on my arms, see how they look, compare it to their last palette, and do at least 2 looks. So I can't wait to try this out. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Colin. I'm a non-binary Latinx scientist and lover of makeup with a soft spot for indie makeup and colorful makeup. And I have new content every week, so I'd love to have you subscribe. So like I said in the intro, this is the new Nomad palette. This is being pre-filmed because they did send this to me in PR. I should have this up the day that the full palette is revealed. There's a little sticker on the box that I got that says we can post it on the 20th. So I'm gonna have my video up then. This will launch a couple days later on Tuesday, the 27th, I think. I'll have the information in the description box. But it's normally like midnight, Monday night, like Monday night, Tuesday morning, midnight is when it'll launch. And this should be $44. It is a 16 shade eyeshadow palette, so those are normally $44, and the smaller ones are $39. You can save money with the discount code. I have one. It's not an affiliate code. I don't make any money from it. It's just a code to save you money, so you can use the code BONES to save 10% if you want to pick this up when it comes out. So I really love this packaging. I normally keep, at least some of them I've kept the outer box for, but this one I will definitely be not only keeping the outer box, but keeping it in the outer box, because normally it just looks identical and then has like a little bit of information on the back. But this one is like kind of see-through and has these cutouts for the animals that are on the box. And then it even has, like it says NO here and part of a D, so you can see it lines up. It's just so pretty. So the theme is Costa Rica. It's got pictures of the shades back here and a little description about the location and why they picked it. And then normally each one of their palettes partners with a charity in that location. So this is working with the Cloud Forest Preserve. That is the theme of this. And then it says it's cruelty-free, vegan, no parabens, phthalates, or mineral oil. And all of that is on the back. So when you open it up inside the palette, you can see the inside of the box has the same kind of floral pattern, and then there's the cutouts. And then here is the actual palette itself. Very fun, very colorful, so pretty. The outside matches the inside perfectly. And then you open it up and it's got the protector. They use these because they're easily recyclable and there's no plastic that way. You've got a big mirror here, and then here is the color story. This is so fun, so colorful. I think it's perfect for the theme. It's so pretty. So you've got 12 mattes and 6 shimmers. And it looks like 5 of the 6 shimmers are kind of a green tone, and then this one is kind of a purple. But we'll see what they look like when they're swatched out. I do really love Nomad shimmers. They always have like a special sparkle to them. And these definitely have that. Like this one up here, Hanging Bridges, is kind of this like limey green, but you can very clearly see like yellow and pink sparkle in it. So it ties in with the other shades. So I cannot wait to try this. I didn't know the theme until it came, obviously. They don't tell, even with PR, they don't tell us, at least they don't tell me, or my friend Steven. But based on the first couple pictures where it had like the embossings and stuff in black and white, I figured it was Costa Rica just because of I saw the monkeys, the flowers, and the hummingbirds, and was like, I think that's Central South America. The monkeys look like capuchins or something, which also live in Costa Rica. And then the flowers and the hummingbirds kind of made me think probably Costa Rica. And so I was very happy that I was right just from that. It pays to have 2 graduate degrees in biological anthropology, I guess. So I'm gonna do swatches and then do at least 2 looks, 1 on each eye. I might do 3 or 4 looks depending on how much time I have. I do have a doctor's appointment later today, so that's my cutoff, is getting ready for that. Before I do swatches, I do want to compare it to their last palette, or one of their last palettes. This is the Paradise Islands palette. It's the same size and also a very fun, bright tropical color story. So I wanted to do a side-by-side so you could see. This one is a little more, the Paradise Islands was a little more pastel, a little more bright. This is a little more lush and like bright pigments. So if you put them side by side, they're both very tropically color stories. This one has a little more blue and teal in it and those peachy tones. And this is just like really vibrant pops of color. So I think these will make really nice companion palettes. If you already have this one, I think they'll work well together. And I don't see any shade for shade dupes. Like the dark blue here is definitely a different shade of blue than this. This is more of a very pale blue. This is a little more mid-tone. So there aren't any shade for shade matches. So I'm gonna do swatches, I think, just in columns, because I can do 3 at a time pretty easily. Each column has 2 mattes and a shimmer, but they're not color coded like monochromatically. So you could very easily do monochromatic looks where you take the lighter blue, the darker blue, and like the purpley shimmer or something. But it's laid out very scattered, which I actually appreciate. So I'm gonna do swatches. I have nothing on my arm. I do have a medium olive undertone. So some shades can look a little different on me. Like this shade might look a little more blue on me and might look, I mean, it's pretty blue, but it might look a little different on someone who doesn't have green in their skin. Same with like these bright limey greens tend to look a little different on me than they do on someone without my undertone. So just putting that out there. So the first column is the shade Hanging Bridges, which is a shimmer, and it's really pretty. It's got a very clear pink shift. So it's green with like a yellow and pink running through it. And then we've got Bromeliad, which is a type of flower, very pretty peachy pink. It's like a hot pink, but with a hint of peach. And then Green Spiny Lizard is this shade here, kind of a mid-tone, a little lighter than mid-tone green. Really pretty. I really like that shimmer. I will definitely be using that today. It's a very smooth matte. Very smooth green. The pink is especially smooth. It does say on the back that these have guava seed oil in them to help keep skin soft. So that also might help the pigments themselves be soft. So, and then this column we've got Bright Orange, which is Jaguar, has these pretty monkeys on it. I'm trying not to ruin the embossing, so I'm not like digging in. River Trail is this really beautiful purpley blue, kind of periwinkle. It's kind of silver periwinkle. And then Blue Morpho, which is this very vibrant blue. There aren't really any deep shades in this palette, I will say. It looks like the purple might be a little deep, and there's a deep green, but everything leans on the bright neon-y to mid-tone range. So if you're like me and you like to deepen up, I don't know how many. There's like a darker brown and a darker green, I think. This orange swatched really nicely. That's really pretty. And that's a very beautiful like lagoon blue. Okay, so we've got Glass Wings, which is what looks like the darkest shade. It's this dark green, but it does swatch a little less dark. It might pack on darker, but we'll see. It looks a little brighter on camera than it does in person. It is a darker green, kind of like the shade of the watermelon I have sitting here on my table. Toucan is a vibrant yellow. And then we've got Green Mountain, which is a really beautiful shimmer. That looks gorgeous. Kind of teal-y green. So you can see that is a darker green. There's the yellow that's very vibrant. Didn't swatch the best, but I don't really care about swatch performance as much as eye performance. Shimmers are very smooth. Like, I felt a little texture as I first started to touch it, but it very quickly smoothed out. And then we've got Violet Saberwing, which I believe is the hummingbird. Really beautiful. Wildlife Wonderland. This looks like a limey green. Yeah, that's really pretty. And Passiflora. This looks more hot pink. This looks a little more peachy. And then there's like a hot fuchsia as well. Really pigmented purple. Really sparkly, wow. And very high shine. And then yeah, you can see this is a lot more pink. This has a little bit more coral to it. Slowly running out of room. Cloud Canopy is this really pretty muted green, like kind of a neutral green. I definitely want to use that. And we've got this really pretty teal. It's very vibrant. Also for anybody who doesn't know how to, this is Resplendent Quetzal. So whenever you see Q-U-E-T like that, that is pronounced like a cat, like a K sound, not quet, not like a Q-U. And then Two-Toed Sloth is this nice kind of olive tone brown. It looks neutral, but as the light hits it, I see a little bit of like yellow. That's really pretty. That's kind of like a deep sage shimmer. Really vibrant teal. And then that brown. That's actually pretty dark. So that is the darkest shade, I think. And then we've got Orchid, which is the fuchsia color. Magical Mist. And then Green Vine Snake. Very pretty. If you like greens and pinks, this is definitely a palette for you. So, pink. That one's a little more toppery, which I like having that option. Let me try to swatch a little bit more. Yeah, that one's like a topper, kind of iridescent. Silver green. You can see the green, but it has like a silver base. And then the last shade is this bright green. So that is the palette swatched out. It is so vibrant. I can't wait to try this out. So I'm gonna go wash my arm off so I don't get this all over my clothes and come back to do some looks. Okay, so let's get into some looks. I don't really have anything planned out too much because I have too many ideas. I did want to say my makeup is in the description box like always. I'm wearing my House Labs bronzer, Melt blush, and then for lips, because I wasn't sure what I wanted to wear, I'm just wearing the new Kosas lip booster, which is really great. I wear this at night a lot too, but just during the day it gives a nice plumping hydration to the lips. I really like this. So I don't have anything planned out for sure. I do really want to try out the dark green. I really want to try out this shimmer here, so I might do something with those. If you wanted to stay, this is very colorful. You could do something neutral if you use like just the brown and like this shade, but this is very much a colorful palette. I really want to see what the yellow and the coral look like on me, so I think I'm going to start with those and just see what happens. And then I might do something either blue or green on the other side, I'm not sure. I think this color and the purple would also pair really nicely together. So I'm just grabbing a small blending brush. This has a bit of a stain to it, but it is clean. I'm gonna pick up the yellow. And I did prime with my Urban Decay eye primer. So I'm just picking up some of that yellow, tapping off the excess, and then I'm gonna place that on the inner part of my. I'm just gonna kind of pat that here and see how it looks. This is a shade you could probably blend edges out with, but it does seem kind of neon. So I wanna see how it performs by itself, just packed on. This is the kind of shade you could easily do like a simple pop in the inner corner with. So that is definitely showing up on my skin. With bright yellows, I always worry just because my skin tends to eat them. Either they're not pigmented enough or they just blend into me a little bit too much. So I'm just kind of patting that on with really bright neon-like shades. Even if it's not technically a neon, I just find that that works the best. Is just kind of pat it on and then lightly blend the edges. Okay, that is very vibrant and does show up. It looks really nice in person. Then I'm gonna do the same on the same brush. I'm just gonna pick up that Passiflora Coral shade, tap off the excess. I'm gonna put that out here. This also seems kind of neon coral. I wanna see how they blend together. Really, really vibrant. And that is definitely very pigmented. It's like layered down, there's no patchiness or anything, and I haven't had to redip at all. So I'm just gonna make sure that these two kind of blend together nicely right here in the middle. You can see in the middle where they've met, it's become a little bit more orange. Okay, and then because I'm in this kind of orangey realm, I'm gonna take the orange Jaguar and pick that up on a little packing brush, and I'm gonna put that down here so I can kind of see what it looks like next to these on the eye. So yeah, it's definitely very orange and distinct. You can make kind of an orange similar shade by mixing these two, but I like that you have the option of just going straight orange. Okay, so I could go in with the dark brown or something to try and add some depth, but I don't think I want to do that today. I think I'll just use some liner and keep it bright. So I think I'm gonna go in with the shimmer next. I'm gonna take some glitter glue. I have some mixed glitter glue here, and I'm gonna put that on my lid. I wish I had more time. Like, I wish I would have been able to film earlier in the week and do lots and lots of looks, but it was my last week teaching for the summer and I just haven't had time between teaching and writing the final and grading the final and everything. So I'm gonna go into the Hanging Bridges shade because it is a green, like most of the shimmers, but it does have that yellow and pink in it. So I think it'll go nicely with this. I'm picking that up on a Rougher 21 brush, and I'm just gonna place that on my lid. I think it pairs really nicely with the yellow. And so it's taking a lot of willpower to not add some depth to the outer corner, but I do like the way that this looks. So like I can see over here where it's met with the coral, it's pulling a lot more pink. So the shade will definitely look a little different depending on what mats you use it with, which is why I wanted to do this kind of a look. And then I think I'm gonna take a little bit of Wildlife Wonderland and put that on the inner corner for a little bit more of a limey bright pop. So I really like that. I think this will look really great once I add liner and mascara. So I'm gonna go do that real quick and then I will be back to do eye look number 2. Okay, so this is look 1 complete. I really like it. I don't tend to do winged liner. I just don't like the way it looks on my eye shape very much. I also am really bad at making them even. So I did tightline with my House Labs liquid liner, just because I do think you need that extra definition. If you don't have a dark matte or something on the outer corner, I do feel like I need that like tight line definition and mascara to really make my eye look open and like contrast the bright colors. But I really like this, and it does kind of look like I have 2 shimmers on because on the yellow the shade pulls more green, but over here it's very pink. Like in person I just see pink sparkle all over right here. So I really like the way this turned out. So let's move on to look number 2. Okay, so I do think I have time to do 3 looks. So I think what I'm gonna do next is try out the fuchsia and the purple, and then I'm gonna do something green for my last one and do that on both eyes, and then just wear that for the rest of the day. So I'm going to start, I'm gonna do a 2-tone look, kind of like I did with this. So I'm gonna do Orchid, and then I'm gonna do the Violet Saber Wing. So I'm gonna start with another small blending brush, and I'm gonna pick up Orchid, tap off the excess, and I'm gonna put that on maybe my whole crease. We'll see. It depends on how dark the purple is. I'm gonna put that right here. It is very, very vibrant. Ooh, it's kind of tickling my eye. Not the shadow of the brush, the way I'm doing it. Okay. Very vibrantly pink, really beautiful. And then I think I'm gonna take a smaller brush and pick up the purple and put that on the outer corner and just kind of see how dark it is. I might end up blending the edges with that pink. So tap off the excess. They are powdery shadows, so I always tap off with every shadow I use, but I especially recommend it with colorful things because you don't want colorful fallout. Okay, so that does pack a decent amount of pigment. So I'm gonna kind of draw the shape I want on. So this does seem to be a purple that works best packing versus swiping and blending. So just a heads up. It's a really pretty color, but you can see it's not as, it looks a little nicer where I packed it than where I swiped. That could also be the brush, but this brush is good at packing. So I'm just gonna put that in the outer part of my crease. This does have a decent amount of depth to it. It's not a dark, dark shade, but there is some depth. And then going back in with Orchid, I'm gonna blend the two together here and kind of blend the edges of the purple. Okay, those are blending together pretty nicely. I'm gonna go in with the purple a little bit on the same brush, that first one I used. And yeah, it works better on this brush. It's a little less dense. And now they're blending together very nicely. So if you ever have trouble with two shades blending together, just go, especially with a fluffy brush, go back and forth a little bit and you should get them to blend really nicely. Okay, so I'm gonna take that small brush and I'm gonna pick up Bromeliad again, or not again, Bromeliad, and I'm gonna put that on my lower lash line so we can see how it looks compared to the more fuchsia-y pink. So you can definitely see it's got more coral to it, but it's less orange and less coral than this. So you've got like orange, coral, coral pink, pink. I feel like Bromeliad would make a really pretty blush color. Okay, so I really like the way that looks and they are blended together very nicely. The edge looks really great. So I'm gonna put a little bit more glitter glue on this eye and try a shimmer. But I'm gonna try the shade River Trail, which I think would look really beautiful with the blues or paired with the purple. So I'm gonna put that on another Rougher 21. Picked up very nicely. And I'm gonna put that all over the lid. Yeah, that looks really great. I think this would, with the purple, it could be kind of monochromatic, but it is kind of that silvery periwinkle. So you could do something monochromatic with the blues, or you could use it as a pop against and contrast against the pinkier tones. I personally prefer a contrast look to a monochromatic. Okay, so I'm just gonna pack a little bit more of that purple on the outer corner on top of that metallic, just to make sure everything's nice and cohesive and there's not like a harsh line. It also added a little bit of purple out to the metallic there. They layered nicely. Okay, so I'm gonna go finish this look off camera and I will be right back. Okay, so this is the finished look number 2. Really love this. Very, very pinky purple. I really like the way the shimmer looks on it. It looks really nice in person. And I do appreciate that the matte kind of melted into the shimmer to make it a little more purpley over here, so it looks like there's more of a gradient. And I just did the same thing where I add a little bit of liquid liner and mascara, and then I put on a little lip oil. I really love both of these. I think they're very different from each other. Let me know in the comments below what you think of these two. I'm gonna go clean up and then try out the green because I just need to. And then I think I'm gonna wear the greens the rest of the day. So I will be right back. Okay, so I'm back to do look number 3. Just cleaned up my eyes, had to reapply some concealer. I think there's still some mascara on, but it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna put more on when I'm done with this. So I'm really excited for a green look. I think I'm gonna use green vine snake, glass wings, cloud canopy, and wildlife wonder, and maybe the brown for even more depth, not sure. So I'm gonna start with the green color. So I'm gonna pick that up on a fluffy brush, already primed again with my Urban Decay primer. And I'm just gonna blend that into the crease and see how it works. I think focus it on the inner part that is very, very bright. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of the green spiny lizard shade, which is a little darker. And I'm gonna put that here. I wanna see them side by side. So yeah, one is definitely more true green and one is more limey green. Just figured I'd go all out on the greens. If you're lighter than me, you might be able to use this as a transition shade, but it's very light on me. So I think as an inner corner or blending out shade is what'll work best, kind of like how I have it. And I'm just using, this is a tapered this way, so I'm just holding it this way without any excess product and just blending the edges. Really like that. I'm gonna take this large pencil brush from Refer. I'm gonna pick up Glass Wings, which is that dark green. Really love this color. And I'm gonna put that out here. So if you want it to be as dark as possible, it's generally best to start with the darkest shade, but I also am putting it right here where there's no other product, so I can kind of see how dark it'll go. And that is blending in really nicely. And then I'm just taking a small brush and blending that into the crease a little bit. After two very bright looks, I needed something with a little bit of depth. And you could do basically the same kind of thing with the blues, but even though blue is my favorite color, I had to use the greens. Okay, and then to ground it a little bit and let it not be fully monochromatic, I'm gonna take the brown and I'm gonna pick that up on this smudging brush and I'm just gonna put that down here. That is definitely the darkest shade in the palette. So I'm just gonna smudge it up to the outer corner. It's got just that hint of green, so it should blend in really nicely. But it's not like overly olives that I think you could use it with basically all of them. And I don't know if you'll be able to see in person or on camera, but in person I can definitely see the added depth from the brown shade right here. It's definitely distinct but blending in. I'm gonna go back into the bright shade, Green Vine Lizard, on the same little brush and put it right here. That way it's not too dark down here. I really like the way the mattes look so far. I'm gonna repeat this on the other eye and then get to the shimmers. Okay, so I'm back. I repeated on this eye and I just added some glitter glue. Really love how dark and smoky and green this is. That brown really blended in nicely and grounded it, I think. So I'm gonna take the Cloud Canopy shade on a Refer 21 brush. Really love this. I'm gonna put that on the outer half of my lid. Oh yeah, I think this is gonna be my most used shimmer from this. Some brown neutral mattes, and this will look so pretty. And put that on the other eye. I think it pairs really nicely with the dark green too. But the pop of this against some neutrals, can't wait to try that. Which you could, this is a pretty dark brown, so I could use like bronzer, my bronzer, and then use that as well. So I might try that soon and post that to Instagram. And then I want to take this Wildlife Wonderland shade. This is a little more blue and a little more toppery, and this is a little darker and a little more teal, and this is brighter in lime, so I want to put that on the inner part of my lid. Oh yeah, that looks really nice. So it's going to be like my inner corner and up. I love a green shimmer. Green and blue, always a sucker. Okay, I really like that. I'm gonna go off camera real quick to put on mascara and stuff, and I will be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and this is the finished look. I really, really love this one. I like all three looks that I've done so far, and I have so many other ideas. I will definitely be doing more over the coming weeks and posting them to Instagram. I stopped teaching, my last day teaching was yesterday, so have a little bit more time now, but really, really love this. I went ahead and cleaned up the edges with the concealer because I had a little smudge. I'm a little sad. I just realized I'm very low on my Costa's concealer because I use it all the time. And I'm hoping that what I have will last until the next Sephora sale, so I can at least buy it on sale for 20% off. But really love this. Put a little bit of I put a little bit of my House Labs liquid liner on the top. I put the Chartreuse from the new House Labs liners on my waterline, and then I put the lip oil from House Labs on my lips. So as far as the palette goes, I've used most of the shades now. I have not put 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's only 4 shades in here that I haven't used, and it's the more blue teal leaning ones. Those are always generally good from Nomad. They make some of the best teal shades I've ever used. The one in the Paradise Islands is insanely pigmented. The one that's like a little more vibrant than this. So I have no doubt that those will look really pretty, and I will probably do a monochromatic blue look soon. Or like a twist on monochromatic, because I'll probably use this shimmer and this one. Really, really like the quality of this. I think it's the same quality as all of their palettes, and I'm happy to say that none of these shades are too light to work on me. So their last palette was the Provence palette, and the one before that was the Paradise Islands. Both of those had like 1 or 2 shades that were just a little too pale for me on my medium skin tone. Even without a tan, I don't have that much of a tan right now. So even without a tan, those couple shades probably still won't really work on me. They're okay for blending out edges, but not like, I can't use them as a transition shade or really get them to show up. This doesn't have any of those. These are all very punchy, very vibrant. Even this bright yellow made a nice, if you pack it on, makes a really vibrant pop of color. So I think they did a great job with this. I love the theme. I think this is beautiful. So if you're interested in this, I definitely recommend checking it out. Like I said, this should be $44 before a discount code. You can use mine, which is Bones, to save 10%. I don't earn any money from that, so if you are against using affiliate codes, mine is not, so you can use that. But always make sure you use a code to save. This, like I said, this will be launching Monday night, Tuesday, Monday night / Tuesday morning, the 23rd. I think it's like just after midnight. Sometimes they do launch a little early, so it might launch Monday night, but they don't normally sell out, so anytime coming soon, this should be available. I definitely recommend checking it out, and I really hope they continue this kind of theme with the packaging, because this is just like an extra detailed step that makes it even better. So let me know in the comments what you think. Which of the 3 looks did you like the most? Are you thinking about picking this up? I'd love to hear your opinions. As always, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.